Yo, what just happened? Buying this bag was like an out-of-body experience. Hello, welcome to A Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today, okay, I feel like I've been saying this for the past few videos, but today's video truly is an unexpected, unplanned, aka unbudgeted unboxing. But this was one of those rare Hermes website bag finds that I know I'll just be kicking myself if I passed on it, because I mean, to come across this exact bag in the exact specs again in the future would be near improbable. Most likely I would have to settle for something similar, but not exactly the same. I mean, that is the generic story of what it's like to shop for bags from Hermes, right? Like the stars would need to align, the universe would need to get it together in order for you to get the bag of your dreams in your exact specs. So this is one of those moments for me. So I'm gonna get straight into the unboxing first, and then we can chat more later. I'll put clips of my actual unboxing, but this is just fun to do, right? Ta-da! So this is the Zip Herbag in the size 31, which granted is a pretty common bag style to drop on the Hermes website. I mean, common by comparison, but still difficult to get, right? Like on a regular basis, you're much more likely to see Herbags and picotins drop compared to like other quota bags. But let's face it, they are still extremely difficult to get online. But what makes this one so special is that it not only has gold hardware, it's a lot more common to find the Herbag with palladium hardware, so I already put the lock on the back. It is also in the coated canvas material, so can you see that shine? And obviously it's in a very sought after neutral color. So if you've been around before, then I may have mentioned these exact specs as a bag that would be really, really hard for me to say no to, because while I do have another Herbag here, let me get that for you. Let me set this one down real quick. So this is my first Herbag. This is in the natural sable color in the crisp Viking canvas. So it's still not like the regular Herbag material. It's a lot thicker compared to like the regular toile fabric. And if you can see it, it does have like a 2 color tone woven effect, which probably is going to show up looking a little crazy on camera, but it's really nice and neutral in real life. So this was my first bag score, if you will, from the Hermes website. And I bought this one simply because it was the first bag I was able to successfully add to cart and to check out with. It was, again, a late Friday afternoon around 4 to 5 p.m., which is really unusual for bag drops to happen that late during the week. Most of the time it happens around lunchtime, maybe like Monday through Thursday. But that being said, it's a beautiful bag and it's in all the right colors for me, so absolutely no regrets there. So, I mean, I really do like this bag. I like the thicker canvas material because I feel like it's a lot more sturdy. Now, the one thing that I am always extremely cognizant of is that both the Vache Hunter leather accents and the fabric, I mean, they are both in a lighter and thus more sustainable material. So whether it's like water from rain or even just from like washing my hands after using the restroom or using hand sani or just color transfer from darker clothing or denim, I honestly get a little nervous whenever I use it. Which I will say, I think that's going to be a night and day difference to the coated canvas. Because as you can see, this material just is a lot more user-friendly. It's water resistant. Not that I would intentionally try to soak it in water, but I wouldn't think twice about wearing it out in the rain. It's scratch-proof, can you hear that? It's stain-proof in part because it is in black, and also it's not going to attract dust and hair like the regular Herbag material. So I mean, this exact version is everything I would have wanted in a Herbag. And again, one that I thought would have been near impossible for me to own without paying a premium on the pre-loved market, which I will always refuse to do. So speaking of prices, when I bought the first Herbag in 2022, this one retailed for $26.75, and with taxes, I paid a total of $2,875. Now granted, the coated canvas material is a tad bit more expensive to begin with, but there has been a tiny price increase for the Herbag this year, so this coated canvas version is now $2,950, and so with tax I paid $3,171 and some change, so that's about $500 more than this first Herbag. If you've been around before, you'll know that I'm constantly, well, maybe not constantly, but I'm consistently checking on the Hermes website. And I've seen some pretty amazing bag drops. And of course, every now and then, I'll just like test the waters to see what I can actually add to cart. But I've never been serious about actually checking out. But in my mind, I think this is one of those rare bags that I would make an exception for if it dropped in these exact specs, which as long as I've been scouring the Hermes website, I have yet to see this exact version to drop. Now, regular Herbags drop on a near weekly basis. I think at most I've seen a handful of coated canvas options, but they were in colors like yellow or blue or red. I've never seen black with gold hardware. I think once they may have dropped a black coated canvas version with palladium hardware, and I wasn't even close to being able to add that one to cart. So for the most part, even if there were bags that I could add to cart, I had pretty decent self-control about not buying unplanned bags, but that kind of went out the window last Thursday morning around 10 a.m. I had just gotten on my computer and I was about to do a quick check of the Hermes website like I do so often. I'm not subscribed to any alert services. I'm pretty sure that's how bags get snapped up so quickly, but I just got on the website and there it was, along with a couple of other Picotins, garden parties in the size 36, but I ignored all the other bags. I made a beeline for the Herbag, so I really didn't get a chance to see what all dropped. And from then on, I was just on autopilot. I saw the bag, I saw the add to cart button was available. I clicked on it. 99% of the time, it would spit back a message saying, hey, item no longer available. But this time, it did let me add to cart. And when I went to the checkout page, it actually let me check out. So I put in my credit card number and that was that. Even after I had gotten the confirmation email that the order was made or the order was placed, I knew the order could still be canceled, but I don't think it was even an hour or two later that I got the shipping information from FedEx that the bag had shipped. And so here we are now. Also, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that this was an unplanned, hence an unbudgeted purchase, which means I had to pull funds from our daily use funds to cover it because the goal is to remain credit card debt free from here on out. Oh, and P.S. my husband was not home when I made this purchase, but he was actually really sympathetic to my cause when I told him what had transpired because I had talked about this bag plenty of times in the past as one that I really wanted to try to get from the boutique since it's never dropped on the website before. However, we did come to an understanding that this means that this is coming out of my fund money allocation for the second half of the year. If you're curious about what any of this means, I do have a few videos talking about how we both budget for luxury spending, and I'll link those down below if you are interested. And again, I think it's important to also talk about how people make these purchases because like most people, I don't have an endless supply of discretionary spare cash sitting around to blow, and I will never ever dip into my investments or savings or retirement accounts to make these types of purchases. So I want to be realistic and transparent about what unplanned luxury spending like this does to my financial health. In this case, it means I'll be starting the second half of the year in the hole when it comes to my fun money allotment. But you know what? Now let's talk about the bag for a minute. I mean, the deed is done, the money's been spent, so all that's left for me to do is just to enjoy and love and to use and to keep this bag. So it's time to start admiring her. And now, if you are familiar with the Herbag, this coated canvas version is different in terms of it having a canvas lining on the inside, which you can see what that lining looks like based on the outer zipped pocket. And so technically you could flip this bag inside out for a new look, since these bags completely come apart. I'm not going to undo it, but I will open it up for you. So we got two sangles here that we just pull through. See, there's a tiny little clip for you to open the bag, and then if you look on the inside, you can see that here we have a canvas material. And so technically, if I really wanted to, I could switch the leather bits between both bags as well. Now the Chris Viking version, it's essentially the same inside and out, right? So look at the back pocket. So essentially the same. Let me sit this back down. But here, if we flipped it inside out, we technically get a gray canvas retourné style bag versus this black Cellier style bag, if you will. So which to me means double the bag, you know? And I love how it has, obviously, the smaller pocket for you to keep your more regularly used items like your wallet or your phone. And I know for some people to get into the main compartment, I know some people find it a little finicky. I personally don't find the straps too cumbersome, but yes, it does take a little bit of finagling to get in and out of. But when you do get inside, you also do have, let me pull this out, an extra pouch for you to keep your smaller items in, just to stop them from rolling around. And the pouch is detachable right there. Now I do have a bag organizer from my other Herbag that I'll probably just pop into this one as needed instead of buying a separate one. But here we have a look at what the Herbag looks like. The straps are non-adjustable and not detachable. And I'll do actual mod shots so you can see what this looks like on. Also, I know for some people it's considered a more awkward size bag because it does measure approximately 12 inches across the bottom. And if you're a bare essentials type person, then granted, yes, this is a bigger bag. I actually really like this size because sometimes I just like to throw in the kitchen sink and not be strategic about what I'm bringing out. Now, if you have a spouse or a kiddos that always have extra knickknacks, snacks that you need to carry for them, I think this is a great size. Now, for me personally, I say it's awkward because sometimes it's a tad big for daily going out use, depending on where I'm going and for how long I'll be out for. And it's also too small to be used as a work bag because it doesn't fit my laptop. Here, I have my iPad though, and I'll show you that it does fit my iPad. See that? And still plenty of room to get it back in the button. So if you don't have a giant laptop that you need to use for work and an iPad works for you, then this is fantastic. But for me, I do use my laptop on a daily basis. So this isn't going to work for me for work. I'm being honest, if I'm just running errands around town, this probably wouldn't be something I reach for. But if I'm going to be out and about for a longer period of time and I need to make sure I have, let's say, sunglasses, touch-up makeup, etc., and I also may be carrying stuff for my husband, then this bag, I think it's going to work great, just like the other Herbag. In terms of fit, it's a great handheld, crook of the arm, shoulder, and crossbody bag. It sits like a higher crossbody because the strap, like I said, is not adjustable and it is on the shorter side. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with the strap length. I'm 5'3", by the way. I think, like the other Herbag, I'll probably enjoy wearing it the most as either a shoulder bag, and my favorite way is just as a crook of the arm bag. So bear with me one moment while I do this bag back up because I am noticing a difference, and if it's just my eyes playing a trick on me, but I really do think just eyeballing these two bags side by side, I actually do think there's a sizable difference between both her bags. Maybe later down the road, I'll do a more in-depth comparison once I've gotten a better feel for the new Herbag, but yeah, I don't know how much the camera is picking up, but the coated canvas, so the Cillier style, definitely seems to be a bit smaller and slimmer than the regular Herbag. Again, that could just be me. I'll have to look at these more closely to know for sure. Let me know if that's a video you'd be interested in. Now, I know I've rambled on for quite a bit. I guess I'm partially still in shock. I never expected to own this bag, and now that I have it in my collection, I honestly need to rethink through what this means for my future bag purchases, because it does shake things up quite a bit. I'm really pragmatic when it comes to my purchases, and for me, this leaves realistically just 2 more slots on my shelf. Past that, I would need to start selling if I wanted to add anything else, and I really do want to try to avoid that, or I'd need to rebuild my closet, and I definitely want to avoid that as well. So I really do need to be strategic here on out about what remaining 2 bags get to come home with me, essentially to complete my collection. But I'll cross that bridge when the time comes. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've ever scored any of your personal dream bags from the Hermes website. I'd love to hear about your experiences. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.